A $26 slice of cake, a $20 bowl of soup, and $50 crab cakes? I think we've waited long enough for this day. It is officially opening day for the Cake Bake Shop here at Disney's Boardwalk. You guys have seen the outrageous prices, but is it worth it? Today I'm here to give you my 100% honest review of the Cake Bake Shop. I, like many of you, have been taken back by the offensive pricing of the Cake Bake Shop, but you know I had to come try it out, so you don't have to. After years of construction, this restaurant has opened, and it's time to step foot inside what promises to be a very unique Disney restaurant. And I must admit, I'm pretty excited. I got here just at the time of opening, and we finally got called. It's time to head inside. I will say, it is really nice in here. The decor is amazing. It looks almost too white. Like, I don't want to mess anything up. It's so like pretty in here and everything, and it better be after the amount of time that the construction took them. It's also like very quiet in here. They're like seating like people very slowly today. I was 8th in line to get a table, but they're only seating, I heard, like 8 people per 15 minutes, since this is still just like a soft opening. So service should be really good, because I think our server might only have like 1 or 2 tables in here. So we shall see how that all is. All right, so I am here with some pals. We have made it inside. Guys, what do you think so far?
I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful, but only time will tell, because we have not gotten any food yet, but I'm really, really excited because I'm getting the burger. Do you know what you're getting so far?
I've never had a velvet soup.
A velvet soup?
You're getting so far ahead of yourselves. And also look at this little tree here behind these guys. We're celebrating Christmas. Well, like I said, Ryan is getting just so far ahead here. I'm going to show you guys the menu in just a little bit, but before I do that, I want to kind of show you guys around the restaurant. So as soon as you walk in, this is kind of the main dining room here. We've got a little carousel in the center. That's like the lucky table. That's like the boat table at the boathouse. That's the one that everyone probably wants. I wonder if you got to pay extra to sit in there. There's going to be a lot of price jokes in this video, just a heads up. This is a look at the main dining room area. You got a bunch of tables around this little carousel, and they actually told us that they haven't finished decorating everything yet. There is going to be a tree kind of at the top of there eventually. Coming soon. And then as you kind of walk through the center there's like just a bunch of different dining rooms off to each side, including a little bar area. So they do have a bar you could sit at. I'm not sure if it's like first come, first serve, or if it will be eventually. There's also a couple tables in said bar area. But other than that, there's like a bunch of different rooms kind of surrounding the center carousel. They're kind of like private. This room looks like it's like a private room for a bigger party. But it is very nice in here, I must admit. All right, well, we have completed our tour here, so let's open the Holy Bible here. This menu is ginormous and weighs about 5 pounds. But there is so much to look over. We'll get to all the food in just a moment. You guys know exactly what I'm going for first. We've got to order a beverage. Before we start looking over this menu, though, there is an elephant in the room, and I addressed it kind of in the beginning, the prices. The prices for this restaurant, when they announced it, there was like a public outcry. Everyone, I think, was on the same page that we were like, what the heck is going on here? Because looking at everything, the prices were even way more than you would expect from a Disney restaurant. Like, we're talking like $35 eggs Benedict, $30 quiches. It was just crazy. We could go over all of that in a little bit, but they did announce a couple of days ago that they were going to actually lower the prices, which really, really surprised me. I don't know if there's ever been a time in Disney history where they've actually like lowered the prices of stuff. Ryan's shaking his head. Yeah, I was so shocked when I heard about this. But yeah, they lowered the prices of a couple of things. So whereas the menu used to be pretty much more expensive than a signature restaurant at Disney World, it's now pretty much on par with like typical Disney pricing that you would expect to see. So I was very happy with that change. I was just shook at the prices. Like when I first heard everyone talk about it, I was like, okay, how bad can they really be? But no, they were bad. And even from someone like, my main expense is food. I spend a lot of money on food, and that's like kind of the main thing that I'm interested in spending money on. And I was shocked. And like I said, I could go on about this forever, but yeah, the prices have decreased, which have definitely made me, as well as a lot of people, happy. I mean, some prices are only by like 1 cent, and some things have even gone up by, say, 99 cents or so. But in the long haul, the prices have decreased. So with all that being said, let's take a look at the beverages finally. Now, the beverages were a hot topic because they were charging like $9. I mean, they still are charging $9 for iced tea and lemonade, except it's $8.99 now. But they were also charging like $9 for a Coke. Now it is $6.99, and I love how they have to say refills included, which I would hope, because usually a soda at Disney is, I believe, like $4.79. So I don't know where they're getting $6.99 from, but I digress. There's also some like hot chocolates and other like coffee kind of drinks here that you would find at like a coffee shop. You could pretty much find any type of like fancy latte, including this unicorn hot chocolate, which has caught my eye because it's $10.99 for a hot chocolate. I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting any of this. I was tempted to get the former $9 chocolate milk, but it's gone down to $5.99. Okay, but for like actual alcoholic drinks, there's got a ton of different things here. Some signature cocktails, including Gwendolyn's famous Cosmopolitan, a couple of bubbly drinks as well. But when I was looking over these signature cocktails, I saw this, the Black Swan, and there was no way I was coming to a new Disney restaurant and not trying their version of an espresso martini.
It's glitter on top. Make sure you get that.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
So here we have the Black Swan. This has espresso, Kettle One vodka, coffee liqueur, Irish cream liqueur, and house-made vanilla simple syrup. It's garnished with a Cake Bake Shop custom chocolate for $19.99. I am sometimes considered an espresso martini connoisseur in this neck of the woods, so let's try this out. We've got a fancy gold chalice. I feel very fancy here. We've also got some glitter on top, a nice thick foam. It looks like, I can't fully tell because the glass is not clear, but looks good. Let's try it out.
Get this for the donut. Oh my god.
It's good. It's really good. I will admit, it is a cream-based espresso martini, which I did realize as I was kind of reading the description here, which cream-based espresso martinis are not my thing. I prefer a dark espresso martini, personally. But for a cream-based espresso martini, this is pretty delicious. We've got a nice foam on there. The chocolate shavings are a nice touch, as is the glitter visually. But
Can you imagine? Like, oh, it's gonna be lavender.
I enjoy it. Nice and smooth, nice and strong. I can taste the alcohol, which is always a plus. There's not 3 beans on here, which I'm okay with it since they have the chocolate on top. But it's a pretty solid espresso martini. Is it better than the right down Main Street espresso martini upstairs at the Bellevue Lounge? I don't know about that, but it is pretty solid, and I would get it again. And it's only $19. This was originally supposed to be a $28 espresso martini. Imagine spending $30 on an espresso martini.
Imagine spending 20.
20 is normal because I say like 17, 18, that's a normal price for an espresso martini that you would pay pretty much anywhere, at least anywhere at Disney World. So $19.99, I believe this is. That's not a bad price at all, especially when you compare it to the $28 that it was supposed to be. $28, I don't think I'd be getting this, but I could support the $19.99. Well, we've tried our espresso martini here. I believe Maria's got some type of margarita over here. That looks good as well. I might have to try that out. It looks nice and light and refreshing. But now let's kind of look over the actual food menu here. So they do serve breakfast and brunch from 7 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. And there's a slew of things. I'm really interested in trying these cinnamon toast brioche bites. Those look really good. And then there's, of course, like classic breakfast items. They have some eggs Benedict down here. They have a bunch of like different types of waffles as well. Some quiches, some fruit and granola. This was a big deal because this granola thing was like, I think maybe $36 or something when they first listed it. Now it's down to $19.99, but a ton of different breakfast items. But we are here during lunch and dinner hours, so we're going to take a look over this stuff here. So in terms of appetizers, there are some truffle fries here. There's a gumbo poutine, pesto burrata, shrimp remoulade. I wonder what that is. A crab cake with remoulade, and then we've got some soupies. Some soupies.
Some soupies?
Some soupies. S-O-U-P-E. people are.
Is that really what it says?
Yeah, literally
That's
SOUPES.
the French spelling. And you're
Soupies.
being a little insensitive.
Soupies. Well,
Soupy.
there are also soupies. There is a soupy of the day. It is potato leek. There is a chicken velvet soupy. There is a French onion soupy. And there is a chicken and andouille gumbo. There's also some quiches that you could also get for lunch and dinner. And then some salades. Well, I know I may not be the biggest soup fan at the table. I think he's right there. But I did decide to go with a soup for my appetizer. None of the appetizers really sounded that like crazy to me. I could be interested in trying their truffle fries. I know they have really great truffle fries over at the Boathouse, and I love a good truffle fry, but I also love a good French onion soup, or soupy. So of course I decided to get the French onion soupy. This has onions sautéed with butter, olive oil, cognac, sherry, and Chardonnay, then cooked in a homemade beef stock, topped with French bread and Gruyere cheese, and baked until golden brown, served with a freshly toasted half French baguette and salted European butter for $12.99. Now, one of the most outrageous things on the menu, when they first announced the menu and the prices, was the soup. And they had a bowl of soup. Bowl of French onion soup listed on this menu. Do you know how much it was? 20 buckaroonies for a bowl of soup, and I almost lost my mind at that. But they took away the bowl, they're just doing the cup. So I'd say this is a pretty on par, like with Disney size of soup that you would get for that price, right? It looks to be on par, and it's in this cup. This is like a coffee cup, but with two little handles. We are going to get to trying this French onion soup in just a minute here, but what I kind of want to do with these food reviews is I want to rate the food taste on its own. So I'm going to talk about the food taste, but I also want to talk about like the value and if it's worth it, since the price of this restaurant is such a big deal. So I'm going to kind of do like two separate reviews on each food thing, because I feel like it's totally separate if you're talking about the actual taste of the food and then like the actual value of what you're getting and like the pricing. So we'll talk about how it tastes, and then we'll also talk about if I would get it again if I thought it was worth it. All right, let's get into this little soup here. See if we could get a nice cheese pull on this bad boy.
Hey, how you doing? Great. No, I'm here for you guys. Did we want to
First bite. Okay, so this pretty much just tastes like any old French onion soup. I'm not seeing anything like spectacular here. It has a rich beef broth. Obviously the onions are nice and caramelized. You've got the cheese on top. There's not enough cheese because this bowl, this kind of vessel that it's in, doesn't allow for a lot of cheese to kind of be put on top. And it also doesn't allow for much like caramelization. I love when the cheese kind of overflows over, and there's not much of that here. There is that baguette inside, of course, but overall, this just tastes like a basic French onion soup to me. I'm not seeing anything in this that is out of the ordinary or kind of like making me say, wow, this is amazing. But it's just a French onion soup, like nothing crazy, like I said. But I do hear this little baguette that they're serving on the side is fantastic, and it's served with some European butter here. So we'll spread some of that butter on. We'll get a bite of this baguette here. The baguette itself is really nice and crusty on the outside there. I love a crusty loaf. It sounds so weird, but being from New Jersey, you can't find a crusty bread anywhere. Even if you go to Publix, they're not selling crusty bread like this here. So I definitely appreciate that. It does taste very similar to the one that you could get in like the French bakery, though. I would say that's kind of similar taste when it comes to that, but the butter is really, really delicious here. So flavor-wise, yeah, pretty on par with most other French onion soups. I've definitely had better, but it's definitely not bad. In terms of value, would I get this again? Probably not. It's $12.99, so it's a pretty reasonably priced soup when it comes to Disney. But would I feel the need to ever get this French onion soup again? Probably not. All right, Nate is ranting and raving about this chicken velvet soup here, and he's kind enough to let me try a little bite. I know this is gonna go right on my leg here.
It's like a really
You're right. It tastes like chicken pot pie.
Something like this.
Perfect amount of salt in there. Nice and creamy. Are there big chunks of chicken? Because
I ate
didn't.
them all.
Oh, you ate all the big chunks of chicken? Yeah, I just got little shreds. But is there anything else in there, like
No.
potatoes or carrots?
No, I think it's just that.
It's like a cream of chicken soup. It's really, really tasty. Watching soup. Now that is a good soup. I would definitely get that velvet chicken soup before I got the French onion again, which is crazy because I am such a big fan of French onion soup. But Nate's soup, if I had to choose a soup, I'd go with that. It was really good. Okay, so we already had our kind of like soup appetizer dish, but me and Maria decided we need to try this crab cake. This is probably the most expensive crab cake we'll ever have in our life. More expensive than if you're getting it from like a prestigious place in like Maryland, you know? Like this is a pricey crab cake. And I keep comparing stuff to the Boathouse, and this crab cake is significantly more expensive than the one over at the Boathouse, and it's already on the table. And let me tell you, it's tinier too. But Maria and I decided to we needed to try this crab cake. So they have it as an entree. Yeah, they have it as an entree for, where are we at here? For $49.99 for 2 crab cakes. But they also have it on the appetizer menu where you could get it for $26.99. So that's what we decided to do. 1 crab cake for $26.99. But this is the crab cake with remoulade. It's a homemade blue lump and jumbo lump crab cake mixed with panko breadcrumbs and sauteed in olive oil and clarified butter. It's accompanied by a signature homemade remoulade sauce served with an arugula salad dressed with homemade lemon vinaigrette and topped with Parmesan cheese. I mean, look at the size of this crab cake. Look at the size of this lemon compared to the crab cake. This half a lemon is it is a tiny lemon. Let me tell you, the lemon is almost the same size as the crab cake. So that's a bit crazy here. But everyone okay with a squeeze of lemon on their crab cake? Maria, you like lemon on your crab cake? You want to see me squeeze this lemon here?
What I'm supposed to do? Foodie, show me.
Okay.
Crab cake.
I like a lot of lemon on my seafood there. So
That's a
success.
That's a Jersey thing.
Is that your first time having a crab cake? You definitely don't like that. You guys aren't seeing the after effects of his face of trying this crab cake. Now you need to film him. He just tried his first crab cake. I needed to expose him because he's like, oh, it's not bad. No.
It started tasting fine, but then I'm like, wait a second.
It snuck up on you. It snuck up on you. You don't like crab. Okay, well, I do like crab, so let's try this crab cake here. I mean, I feel like it doesn't have much flavor other than the lemon. Like, the lemon is the only flavor that I'm tasting in this crab cake. I did put a lot of lemon on there. But, like, I feel like, okay, let me get in there with a bite without anything from the top so I can just taste the crab cake alone. It doesn't have much flavor. There's not a lot of filling in there, which thank God, because for that price there should not be many breadcrumbs at all. But it doesn't have enough flavor for me. So flavor-wise with that crab cake, I definitely probably would not go for it again. I feel like I could get that at pretty much many other restaurants at Disney World, and price-wise, value-wise, it's definitely a no for me for next time. It's very, very average for the price. I expected a lot better. So crab cake's a no for me. All right, well, we're falling behind here. We've eaten our appetizers. We now have to take a look at the entrees. You can see they have a choose 2 option, kind of like Panera, where you could choose a half portion, well, there we are, of 2 of these items here, a couple sandwiches, some of the soup or a salad there. You can choose 2 for $26.99. They also have, of course, some signature dishes, a New Orleans shrimp po' boy, chicken and andouille gumbo, 3 cheese cavatappi with basil breadcrumbs, a burger, a plant-based burger, some roasted salmon, and then, of course, those $50 crab cakes there. We've got some sides on the menu as well. And then here are the sandwiches here. So you could get them in the choose 2, or you could get just like a full sandwich with a side. And then the kids menu here, of course. These used to be very, very expensive, but they've brought the price down quite a bit. You'll probably notice there's a lot of like New Orleans style dishes on the menu here, and that's because the owner of this place actually grew up in New Orleans. So a lot of the influence comes from there. You'll see gumbo po' boys and stuff, and I've heard a lot of things about like what to order. And I've heard a bunch of things about this po' boy here, so I kind of decided I definitely need to try that out. And then I've also heard a lot of things about like the croque monsieur, because that's one of the things that saw a major price reduction. So I think that's what I'm gonna go with here. Let's start by trying this croque monsieur. It has country bread with French ham, Gruyere cheese, Dijon mustard topped with creamy bechamel sauce, served with an arugula salad dressed with lemon vinaigrette and topped with Parmesan cheese for $26.99. Let's cut this bad boy in half here. The big reveal. It's a pretty big sandwich. Decent amount of ham, covered in a ton of cheese. This is definitely gonna make my stomach hurt later. Finally, let's try out this Sammy here.
It's good, right?
Now this is a pretty, again, I feel like a lot of the food here is, you know, pretty basic, and not in the fact that it's bad, but like I feel like I could get this at like a lot of other places, and I feel that same way about this croque monsieur here. Now I do appreciate that there is a really good amount of ham. I really like the flavor of the bechamel sauce on top. I have a love-hate relationship with bechamel sauce. Sometimes it's too like floury, and I love black pepper, but sometimes it's a little bit too peppery. I think the bechamel sauce is perfect here. It has a really great flavor. I don't care for the bread a lot. It's not a country bread, and I don't think I would have chose that kind of bread. The outside is a little too hard to the point where it almost tastes stale, but that's just because the kind of bread that they're using there. I think I would have gone with a different type of bread on this sandwich. But again, the flavor of the bechamel, the ham, it's good, but does it taste like anything that I couldn't go to the France Bakery in Epcot and get for a lot cheaper, or go to Riviera at Primo Piatto, the quick service over there, and get for a lot cheaper? Probably not. So flavor-wise, similar to the French onion soup. It's fine. It's just a pretty average croque monsieur, if you ask me. Price-wise, would I ever spend $27 on this ever again?
Oh my goodness.
Probably not. I'd definitely go with something else next time. All right, we still have one more entree to try. This is the New Orleans shrimp po' boy. This is a classic New Orleans po' boy sandwich served with French bread shipped in daily from Gambino's Bakery in New Orleans. The bread is lightly toasted and dressed with a dozen fried shrimp, homemade remoulade, mayo, shredded lettuce, chopped tomatoes, and pickles, served with a side of New Orleans crystal hot sauce and pommes frites. Instead of those pommes frites, though, I decided to get truffle fries. I know they have truffle fries on the appetizer menu, and I was really interested in trying them because I do love truffle fries. So I decided to kind of upgrade here. They were able to do that, so I want to try these out here. A little truffle fry action. Truffle flavor, great. Salt level, great. I could use more Parmesan. I could use more fresh herbs on these. And these fries, these are definitely the basic like Disney French fries that they serve at every quick service restaurant, just topped with a bunch of truffle oil. And the truffle flavor is really, really good. But again, I need more herbs, I need more Parmesan. How much is this appetizer on the menu? $17.99 for a truffle fry appetizer. Now that I can't get behind. I don't know how much it was to upgrade to the truffle fries with my sandwich here, but they're good. Truffle flavor is good. It's just not a fresh cut fry, or at least it doesn't taste like it. Let's get a bite of this Sammy here. Now, I've never been to New Orleans, so I've never had an authentic po' boy. Matter of fact, I'm not sure if I've had a po' boy ever before. I think this might be my first ever po' boy, and I gotta say, I do enjoy it a lot. I love the vinegariness of the pickle in there. It adds such a great flavor. And I hear I have to add some of this crystal hot sauce on top. So let me go ahead and do that. The shrimp here on this sandwich are humongous. Like there are 12 it says on there. I didn't count. I'm just gonna trust them there. But these shrimp are huge. I would assume there's like 6 on each half here. This is a huge, really good sized shrimp. The breading on here is also like super light, which I really enjoy the flavor of that. But the bread, I must say, the bread is really tasty. And the owner, Gwendolyn, came over and kind of talked to us and gave us some insight about like the whole restaurant. And she was talking to us about this bread specifically too. Apparently it's a very, very famous bread, and I know why. It tastes really good. I love that they're kind of like shipping it in from New Orleans, fresh here to Orlando. The hot sauce, definitely a must. That is the game changer here for me. A lot of the servers have been walking around kind of saying this is their favorite thing on the menu, and I understand why. Out of everything that I've tried today, I'd say Nate's chicken velvet soup and this sandwich are my two favorites. Flavor-wise, this sandwich is phenomenal. Let's talk about the value now. Almost $35 for a sandwich is quite crazy. But I will say, they are loading this up with very large shrimp and quite a few of them. I love that they are shipping the bread in here, so that's definitely gonna add a bit to the cost. And hey, if we're getting like fresh ingredients and stuff like that shipped in, I don't mind paying a little bit more. So is $35 for a sandwich crazy? Yes, but I will say I would probably get this again. This is also ginormous. Like, I don't understand how one person could eat both halves of this sandwich. So this is definitely something that you get and share. Like, this piece of the sandwich right here would have been enough for one person. So get this, share it, then you can kind of try two different things because all you need is half, really. Ryan, I have to know because I almost got the burger, and if you didn't get it, I was gonna get it. How was it?
Well, it's gone. So I hope that answers what I thought of the burger. It was actually really, really good. It's like a standard burger you'd find at any sit-down place at a theme park, but also more than that because the bun is like a little bit of a higher quality, not as like, I don't know, grocery store-y. But I don't know. Burger was great. It was a very thick, juicy burger. By the time I was done, it was a little cold, but that's any time when you do a food review video, so that's okay.
Well, that was a great way to end our savory experience here at the Cake Bake Shop, but obviously with a name like the Cake Bake Shop, they have to have some amazing desserts, specifically cakes, and that's really what y'all came here for, right? That's what I came here for, to try the cakes, so that's what we're gonna do next. Now, right next door to the restaurant, they actually have a bakery where you can kind of get all these cakes and other baked goods. They have like a lemon bar, cookies, macarons, so many different options, including like coffee to go that you could get, but they have that right next door in a bakery, kind of just walk up style. So if you wanted to try the cake or coffees or baked goods of that nature, you don't have to sit in the restaurant. You can just go to the bakery next door. So we have got to take a look over all of the desserts here. There's a whole side of the dessert menu, a whole couple pages dedicated to cakes, and it says their cakes are generously sized to serve one or two guests. They have Gwendolyn's famous Earl's Court chocolate cake. I will definitely have to try that. They also have this raspberry champagne cake, which I've heard a lot of good things about, as well as the raspberry red velvet cake, carrot cake, which is apparently Gwendolyn's favorite, she told us. They have a birthday cake, like a confetti cake. They also have a millionaire's cake with a bunch of different things in it. Oprah's O-List mint chocolate chip cake. My mom would love that. Pumpkin chocolate cake. There's a pumpkin spice cinnamon roll cake. Guys, we are not done yet. There's still more. I have to turn the page. There are some pies. Apple crumble pie, key lime pie, chocolate peanut butter mousse pie. There's a mixed berry cheesecake. We've got some homemade ice cream and sorbet. I told you about the macarons. We've got some chocolate truffles, some cookies and bars. My roommate said that's, where is it? The lemon bar. She really likes the lemon bar here. But there is so much on this dessert menu. It's like never ending here. Well, there are a bunch of us, so I think we're gonna kind of sample a bunch of different flavors of cake. We're all gonna kind of get a cake flavor here, but before we do any of the cake stuff, I did have to get the chocolate chip cookie. This is the chocolate chip cookie with flour de sel. It's voted the best chocolate chip cookie in all 50 states. Both Callebaut, Belgian semi-sweet and bittersweet chocolates are baked in our buttery cookie dough, topped with flour de sel and lait de riz in the south of France for $6.99. And for $6.99, I must admit, I did expect the cookie to be a lot bigger here. This is the size of a Publix cookie. And it's also not thick, like a Gideon's cookie. It's a thin cookie, but at least it's topped with glitter. Nate, should I do the classic PMM Gideon's break? Inspired by PMM himself.
And that's how the cookie crumbles.
That is how the cookie crumbles. You guys gotta try this out. Let's see how it is.
Wait, Nate, you're the Gideon's.
I mean this respectfully. This tastes like my mom's, like chocolate chip cookies.
That's what it's supposed to taste like.
Which is fine, but for $6, and my mom makes a good chocolate chip cookie. But for
You want to buy
$6,
your mom's cookie for $6?
yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. For $6.99, I would hope this would be better than my mom's cookie. She just uses the recipe on the back of the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip.
But it's made with love.
I'm sure this one is made with love as well, and it tastes fine, but it doesn't taste any better than like
A mom's cookie.
the chocolate chip cookie on the Nestle Toll House.
Priceless.
chocolate chip bag. That's personally what it tastes like to me. I'm not getting much salt at all, which I love salt on a chocolate chip cookie, so that's unfortunate. The cookie itself is soft on the inside, but it does have a little bit of a crunch on the outside. But I wouldn't say it's like a crunchy cookie there. There's also not that many chocolate chips in it, which I do quite enjoy because I love the flavor of like the chocolate chip cookie, the brown butteriness of the chocolate chip cookie itself. But does this taste like something that I couldn't make at home? No. So for $6.99, I would definitely not ever get this cookie again, nor would I recommend you get it. All right, we have all of the cakes there. We've got 3 over there. We've got mine right here. I decided to go with the raspberry champagne one, but we're gonna sample them all, starting with the raspberry champagne. This has 3 layers of fluffy vanilla cake brushed with a French champagne simple syrup filled with raspberry pixie jam and fresh raspberries, frosted with a champagne vanilla buttercream and topped with fresh raspberries for $22.99. Let's break into this bad boy here.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh.
That is quite delicious. I must admit, very delicious. Well, I think that cake is really, really good. The cake itself is super moist. I actually just want to try everything kind of on its own. Just the cake. It does have like some type of like distinct champagne-y flavor. Like I can taste that champagne simple syrup through there. I want to try some of the frosting on its own here. The frosting is more whipped cream-like than like buttercreamy it tastes like. With the raspberry complements the champagne flavor really, really nicely. Like I said, the cake is super moist. I don't know how any of the other cake slices are going to beat this. This is a very unique flavor of cake that I'm not sure if you could get at many other places, and I really enjoy it. With that being said, the flavor, fantastic. Absolutely love it. Do I think any slice of cake is worth $23? Absolutely not. Like, no matter how good a slice of cake is, it could be the best slice of cake in the world, and it's still not worth $23. I don't think this cake is better than the cake at Gideon's, and the Gideon's cake is $9 for the same size slice of cake, if not maybe a little bit bigger. That being said, this cake is still really good, and I still haven't tried the other 3 that we got, but I would say I would, if I was coming here for like a special occasion or something, and I was willing to spend $23 on a slice of cake, this might be the flavor that I'd get, but we still have to get to the others. So next we're going to try Gwendolyn's famous Earl's Court chocolate cake. This is named after the Earl's Court Convention Center in London, where Gwendolyn received awards for best chocolate cake. It's 3 layers of Valrhona French chocolate cake filled with Belgian chocolate ganache and malted chocolate cream, topped with Calibut Belgian chocolate fudge and flour de sol for $24.99. Gotta get a bite with all of the layers. That chocolate ganache on the outside is thick. It's very, very rich. Very rich. The chocolate cake is almost like brownie consistency. That's how like rich and thick and moist it is. Very, very chocolatey. I imagine if you're like a massive chocolate lover, this would be perfect for you. Almost honestly a little bit too rich for me. I know this was supposed to have like some salt on it. I think the salt would have kind of cut that richness really nicely. I'm not tasting really any salt on this. And when you kind of compare this cake, this chocolate cake, to the raspberry champagne cake, I think the raspberry champagne just kind of blows it out of the water. I think we tried the best first, personally. So unless you're like seriously in the mood for some rich chocolate, I don't know. It's okay. Again, it's not better than Gideon's cakes. Since we're on chocolate, let's get to this millionaire cake next. This is 3 layers of Valrhona French chocolate cake filled with Belgian chocolate ganache, handmade salted caramel sauce, vanilla buttercream, and homemade butter shortbread cookies, topped with Belgian chocolate fudge, more shortbread, and salted caramel sauce for $22.99. Everyone has kind of destroyed this one. Look at this. The whole top and bottom is gone. Yo, Nate ate all the shortbread out of here.
Yeah, he took all the best part.
He ate all the shortbread out of this cake. I guess it was his cake, so I'll accept it. I'll let it slide. The cake tastes like that same kind of rich, almost brownie-like cake that was in the one that I just tried. But I think the caramel and kind of I forget what kind of buttercream this was on the inside, and the shortbread, it balances a little balances it a little bit more for me. The other one was a little bit too chocolatey. This one I definitely prefer more than the all chocolate cake. It was a little too much for me. This is a better balance. Still very chocolatey, don't get me wrong, but better balanced. Our final cake of the day, the Pixie Fetti birthday cake. This is 3 layers of vanilla confetti cake with a hint of almond, filled and frosted with princess pink vanilla almond buttercream, topped with Pixie Fetti confetti for $22.99. Mike, the situation would be happy with this selection here. I think this is Maria's cake here. I love almondy flavored desserts, and this has that almond flavor that I enjoy. However, this, to me personally, tastes like the most basic vanilla confetti cake. Like, it just tastes like vanilla confetti cake. That's all right. Probably wouldn't get this again. Raspberry champagne stands the test of time. That was hands down, not even a question, the best dessert that I tried today.
All right, so here at the Cake Bake Shop, we have Brûlée, our very magical dragon who works in the bakery. Being a dragon is very hard to celebrate birthdays, and keeps lighting the candle as he tries to blow it out. But we did task him with an amazing job. He lights all these chandeliers every morning for us, all 14 of them. And as he's doing that, he drops a little bit of the glitter. We're able to collect that. You know, he loves it when we take that and celebrate birthdays, any special occasions.
Wow.
All right, yeah. So if you would like to do a glitter wish, we have a couple options. I can put it in your hands. You can make a wish that way. We can clap it out or blow it. I can put it in your hair. Whatever you guys prefer.
Let's put it in our hands, right?
Can we put it in his hair, though?
I would like it in my head.
Absolutely. A little bit does go a long way. So. And it is all edible. It's not gonna.
I'm eating it right now.
You ready?
Oh my god! All caught in those locks.
Wait, we gotta say a wish. Blow it away.
Everybody wish.
Yeah.
You're good. All right.
Okay,
Yes, so
everybody
count of
wish.
3. All right. 1,
2,
2.
Wow.
High five.
I wish for hair.
Wow. Okay, but now that we're done with dinner, I want to kind of explain my experience and my overall thoughts about the Cake Bake Shop to you guys. I'm kind of trying to think of how to put into words my experience. I gotta think on this. So while I collect my thoughts, Ryan, I need to hear yours and give me the honest review. I don't want to hear this is a no BS channel over here. So don't be BSing with me and my subscribers here, okay? Tell us straight.
I thought the food was delicious. The major talking point that everybody's talking about is the price point of all of the food here. And my thought is that the location here on the Boardwalk, by Yacht and Beach Club as well, these are deluxe level hotels here at Disney World, where most of the nights available are going to be around $600 to $800 per night to stay here. So talking about having a burger that costs anywhere from $26 to $45 is really matching the same level of price that you would have here. Not saying that I would ever personally pay $800 a night to stay here, especially because I live half an hour from here, but the clientele that's coming through here, that's going to be something that is affordable for that type of clientele for the most part. And I think that's kind of just the reasoning why the pricing is where it's at. Personally, I'm probably maybe going to come here for breakfast one more time, but after that, I don't know, mainly because I love Chili's so much.
Ryan makes some good points, and obviously we talked a lot about price in this video, and when they first announced the menu, I was annoyed. I was very, very annoyed, as evidenced by the beginning of this video and stuff. Just the prices. I was actually personally offended by some of the prices. But now that they've kind of brought them down, I mean, I know I mentioned some of them rise by 99 cents or a little bit more, and some were lowered by only a penny to make them $12.99 instead of $13. I think them lowering the prices was the right move. Some of the things on the menu are still just stupidly priced. The crab cake, insane. The cake, insane. Even the soda still being, $6.99. I think that is still insane. But I think there are some things on the menu that are reasonably reasonably priced when you kind of consider Disney pricing here. So I guess it kind of depends on what you want to order, whether it's worth it or not. Obviously, the experience in there is amazing. The service was spectacular. The ambiance it's unlike any other restaurant at Disney World. And like, I don't know, just even at night, it was just so beautiful with all the lights lit up in there. Even during the day, all the natural light coming in. They let us know that the windows actually kind of open. So if it's a nice day, they could open the windows up. Even for brunch, like they have breakfast and brunch. I'm definitely looking forward to coming back and trying more of that menu. They're also going to have some afternoon tea. They haven't started it yet, but I believe in the next like month or so, they should be starting that, which I will of course be coming back for. I want to try the breakfast again. So I'll be back for that. I would definitely come back here. Like I was really kind of skeptical at first, but I would come back here, but be smart with what I was ordering. Like I wouldn't go for like the super overpriced stuff. Like I think $26 for a burger at Disney World, I don't think that's that bad. Like the soup, even $12.99, I don't think that's that bad. You know, there are some things that are reasonable for Disney and there are some things that are just not. But overall, I think they're using really great ingredients, really fresh ingredients. I mean, we were talking to Gwendolyn for quite a while, who is the owner of the Cake Bake Shop, and she really put a lot of thought and time and effort into decorating the whole area and kind of curating the menu, and you could tell. But it's definitely something that's for special occasions or just ordering something that isn't outrageously priced. So overall, I will admit, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the Cake Bake Shop. And again, this is just my honest review. Obviously, it's going to depend on you and what you order, whether you think it's worth it or not. But I say, come check it out. Definitely try it out at least once. Give it a shot. And I don't know, let me know in the comments if you guys plan on coming to the Cake Bake Shop and checking it out and kind of what you were looking at ordering and your overall thoughts on the whole situation. But like I said, this is a spot that I'll probably come back and enjoy every so often. It's not going to be an everyday thing. Some of the food was just average. Some of the stuff was really good. But that's with kind of every restaurant. I'm curious to see how this one kind of plays out, you know? Thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate all of you guys and all of you for tuning into this video. If you don't already and you enjoy honest Disney food reviews, you're always going to get them from me. So hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.